You know, to be honest, I don't really know how I became a minister. It kind of just happened. I was raised in a very religious household, and by that I mean with a Catholic mother and a Buddhist father. So I grew up going to Catholic school during the week and Mass on Sundays and Dharma talks on Wednesday nights and Saturday afternoons. And our household was just imbued with religion. And when you grow up in a setting like that with kind of two different types of faiths, you can't help but see religion all the time in your life. And one of the things that I'm really grateful for is that I've always found religion to be beautiful, profoundly flawed, all of them, for sure, but so beautiful in the midst of those flaws and so powerful. And I've just always been attracted to religious people, to religious places. And so because of that, I ended up studying religion a lot in my life, trying to better understand it or just explore how other people thought about it. And one of the things that just always was in my mind as I learned about how people believed and practiced and understood their faiths was suffering, which is, a pretty big concept in both Catholicism and Buddhism. And just reading about and feeling my own suffering and noticing how religion helped me and other people understand their suffering had a huge effect on me. And my Buddhist practice, which is rooted in the Gelugpa tradition, which is a Tibetan sect of Buddhism that's heavy on the intellectualism. What my Buddhist practice teaches me is that we all have Buddha nature, which in universalist terms is pretty much the same thing as we are all good. It is always there, that ability to do good, be compassionate, be fully present in the world. And when people aren't being good, it's because they're suffering. And sometimes that's the result of some things they've done, and other times it's not, and more often it's not. And so I think in my studies in religion, in my practices, in my faith, I naturally became called to ministry because I wanted to be present to other people's suffering and see if somehow I could help them through that, or at least pause with them in the midst of that and see what else was there. Help them uncover their goodness. And that's my ministry. Simply put, noticing the suffering of others, helping them feel it as they need to, and pause in the midst of it and remember they're good. I remember a really good friend of mine in divinity school, who's now a hospital chaplain, she's a Lutheran, once asked me what my gospel was. I think this was like my first or second year of divinity school when I wasn't quite planning on being a minister yet. And I remember being like, what? And she's like, what's the good news you have to share? And I was like, I don't know, you're good. You're doing the best you can with what you have to work with. Just keep at it. And I remember she laughed and she looked at me and she was like, I don't know if it's really your thing, but you might be a good minister. And I was taken aback because I kind of just planned on getting a PhD in Buddhist ethics and maybe becoming a nun in like 40 years. And I was like, huh. She's like, yeah, you should think about it.